Hey there, everyone. Jim here with Fantasy for the Ages, coming at you today with my spoiler-lite reaction to Book 2 of Patrick Rothfuss's seminal series, The Kingkiller Chronicle. That being The Wise Man's Fear, of course. Minimal spoilers here for you, so if you've yet to read it, this is a fairly safe space. However, most of you watching have already read it, are glad I finally did, and you're just here for my reactions and thoughts. So when I comment on stuff, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you appreciate this video, as always, we ask that you like it down below, help YouTube notice us, and share us out with more people. Also, take a look at the rest of the videos of our channel if you're not already a subscriber. We think you'll like what you find, and so of course then, subscribe. Thanks. Okay. This book, wow, it's a bit of a junker. While The Name of the Wind came in at a respectable hardcover page count of just over 650, The Wise Man's Fear clocks in at almost 1,000 pages. The frame of the Kingkiller Chronicle trilogy is that the main character, Kvothe, is taking 3 days to share his life story, providing for the first time the real, official, and unembellished story behind his fame, or infamy, his name being known far and wide. The Name of the Wind was the portion he shared on day 1 of these 3 days he's taking. And it was mostly his life leading up to arriving at the university, as well as most of his first year at the school. The Name of the Wind wrapped up at the conclusion of this first day of telling the story. And Chronicler feverishly writing it all down. He's quite excited to get this. And we've got this frame story here that has Chronicler and then Bast, who works for Kvothe, follows Kvothe, is a student of Kvothe. I have trouble saying Kvothe. You'll catch that out. So they have a little interaction, Kvothe and Chronicler, at the end of book 1. And now here we are, book 2, day 2, and they're still engaged with listening to and reacting to the story of what happens. Book 2 is primarily, it starts out at the university, and we have a little more of his experiences there, but most of the story is when he leaves the university. Not that he's done as a student, but something happens which causes Kvothe to take a term off. And it would be too spoilery to tell you what exactly happens, but it turns out it's not uncommon for students to take some time away, like a gap term, and go get some real-life experiences. And does he ever? My goodness. I really enjoyed the aspects of the story that are out and away from school. This is a very different, more mature and capable Kvothe than what we saw of him in book 1 before he arrived at the university. But one thing hasn't changed. He has both the worst and the most amazing luck. That's probably a great thing to acknowledge about Kvothe. He's incredibly lucky. Both the horrible luck and the incredible good luck. We know Kvothe makes it through the adventures of this story, of course, because he's just telling the story. From the modern time, he's talking about the past. But we get more pieces in this book of the many different adventures through which Kvothe developed his incredible assortment of skills, as well as an unbelievable reputation. And some of the things that he survives, does in this book, people are talking about on and on and on and on. For those who have read this, I particularly enjoy the time in the woods with a certain someone. One-on-one experience that leaves him far more worldly and, well, experienced. We're still waiting for the 3rd book of this trilogy, 12 years after book 2 was published. I imagine, having read these now, that part of the challenge for the author is figuring out how to pack the entire rest of the story into just one more book, even if it comes in at 1,500 pages, and then also wrap up the frame story in a way that is meaningful, sensible, has gravitas. It can't be a simple task. But I do hope it happens someday, because we inquiring minds, we want to know Mr. Rothfuss, so please, we hope you can pull this off sometime. All right, that's all I've got for you here today. Glad you were with us. If you want to respond to what you heard here today, put some comments down here in the opportunity on YouTube. We respond to all the comments that come in. But there's also a way to interact with us through Discord. And a server invitation is down there. All of our social medias are there, even an email address. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.